Hi, my name is Sarah Miller. I am the Director of Development for UA Little Rock's College of Business. I've been in the nonprofit and philanthropy world for about 10 years, primarily focused on nonprofit fundraising and relationship development. A lot of people feel like nonprofit development is simply raising critical funds needed to further a mission, but it's really so much more than that. You know, it takes 18 to 24 months typically to engage a donor, to really get into that relationship and see where they feel they best plug in into the mission and into the organization as a whole. From identifying a prospective supporter to qualifying them, we use an acronym, AIM or AIM. Do they have the aptitude to give? So for instance, do they have the capacity to give a gift? Are they interested in our mission? Do they have someone who maybe went to school here at UA Little Rock, or is there a professor that has really impacted their life? Are they engaged? And then do they have the motivation to give? Have we really done our job? Engaging them into what we do, making sure that they've had those hands-on experiences that they really need to feel connected. And if we stayed impact focused, have they seen lives changed? Have they really seen us be good stewards of our resources and really make sure that we're being as responsible as possible with their prospective gifts or the gifts of others? So once we've sort of cultivated this relationship, we really start to look at how do they use their language? Because language really does matter. So for instance, if a volunteer has been engaged with us, maybe served on boards, maybe really came in and spoken to students, maybe they have identified a need on their own, are they using pronouns that we want them to use? So like for instance, have they made that switch from saying your program or their need to our program and our need? How do we help versus how do we find someone, or how do you find someone to help? So they're really making that language switch. Language matters so much in nonprofit development. For instance, it takes someone 8 thank yous to remember 1 thank you. So when you're stewarding and when you're really engaging prospective donors, volunteers, supporters, you really want to make sure that you thank them repetitively and in different ways. So maybe those 8 thank yous are a thank you note, a thank you phone call, a thank you lunch, a combination of all of them, maybe a highlight in a newsletter, or really a thank you from a speech if you're at an event. Just however we can get those 8 thank yous in, just so they remember it one time. It takes so much gratitude and stewardship to really make a volunteer feel engaged and to make a prospective donor feel engaged. The other thing I want to say is it's really important that you look at who has already bought into your mission, who has already seen that impact that's happened. You know, who in your nonprofit or who in the nonprofit that you're engaged with has been at every meeting or has shown up to all of the events or has been in the weeds with you serving meals, whatever it is. Who are those people that you wouldn't necessarily consider a large major donor because they may not look like they are? The truth is there are a lot of ways to get to philanthropy and fundraising. For instance, you know, it may be that someone would love to leave you a planned gift, but you've just never asked. You know, it may be that there is a piece of property or a piece of real estate, or even in the case of our local KUAR station, a car in their driveway that they would love to donate to make a big impact. It may be that someone would like to spread a gift out over 3 or 4 or even 5 years to be able to fund a critical mission for you. It's important not to think of fundraising as one gift in one specific year, because the truth is a lot of small gifts can really add up to make a huge impact. And I also want to say it's really important to stay impact focused. Tell the stories of the people who are being helped, or those really critical people who have an empowering story to tell. So for instance, I'm a 2-time alum of UA Little Rock. I was a first generation high school graduate. When I grew up on a farm in north central Arkansas, a college degree wasn't even something I thought was in the realm of possibility for me. But because of support from scholarships here at UA Little Rock, I was able to get my undergraduate degree. I was able to go on and get my master's degree with the help of a graduate assistantship supported by scholarship donors and scholarship supporters. I remember one particular year, I had to make the decision between paying for my tuition and paying for my light bill because I lived in an apartment that cost $200 a month in Southwest Little Rock. And I was that student that $50 or $100 made the difference for. So I would fill a cooler with ice from my job where I waited tables, and then I would take that back home with me and eat out of the cooler until I went back to work the next day so that I could put ice back in it to keep my food cold so that I could continue to stay in school. And I am not special. There are students on our campus like that every single day who can't graduate because they maybe have a small need that a volunteer, if they just knew, could fill for us. When I worked at the MS Society, it was very similar. You know, seeing people who needed those critical services, we really changed lives. We were able to provide grab bars for them so that they could get in and out of their home. We were able to provide ramps for them so that they could stay in their homes. And those are the stories you want to tell. You want to really be concrete, really be specific, and if possible, show. Don't just tell, you know? Really bring your prospective donors, your supporters, your volunteers in and let them get their hands dirty, because that's how you show impact. And then when you're ready to ask and it's time, just smile and make eye contact and ask for that 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, whatever you're asking for, and be quiet. It's very important. We often want to fill that empty space or that silence because it feels uncomfortable for us. But the truth is, after you've made an ask, that person needs to think about it, and they may have questions and they need some space to mentally go through their finances. And you really want to give them that opportunity and let them be the next one to speak. And it's so difficult, but you have to just do it. So I hope this helped you today. I would love to hear any questions. If you have any, feel free to email me, smmiller2@ualr.edu. Have a great day.